Hello everybody and welcome back to the BU podcast. My name is Jess and I am here today with two guests. We've got Georgia and we've got Siân. Georgia, do you want to introduce yourself first?
Hi everyone, thanks for listening. My name's Georgia Alston. I am from Pink's Vintage Ice Cream Vans and Pink's Parlour, and I'm a Degree Apprenticeship student.
Amazing. And Siân?
Hello, my name is Siân. I'm a Degree Apprentice in digital marketing and I work for the university as well. So yeah, best of both worlds really.
It's exciting. So if you haven't already guessed, this episode is all about being a degree apprentice. And so we've got two lovely degree apprentices with us today who are kind of coming from it from two very different angles. But I can imagine some people might be like, well, what is a degree apprentice? So I'll give a little explanation and then the two of you can talk about all your experiences. So Degree Apprentices, it's a 4-year course and you have a full-time job and you do a degree alongside. So your course is paid for by your employer and then that's it, off you go. So first off, both of you, why did you decide to do a Degree Apprentice? Georgia, you first.
Okay, cool. So we were actually approached by the university. We've worked with the University of Chichester for a number of years with different projects and helping support different business students anyway with our experiences and with some guest lecturing and things. So when the opportunity kind of arose for me to kind of engage with the programme, business management was something that I was really interested in, and we could really see the value that our business would get from it, which was the main reason we kind of got involved with the programme, as it were. But for us as well, it was really, really attractive because there was so many different funding options out there to be able to let a small business sort of engage with these programs. It's not just for big businesses and that sort of thing.
No, that's really cool. And what about you, Siân? Why did you decide to do a Degree Apprentice?
So I came into my apprenticeship straight from college. So I was 18 at the time and working 2 jobs. And I just kind of liked being busy. I thought, getting money, spending it how I want. I kind of favoured that over going to uni and being not broke, but not a steady income.
That's broke.
So I felt like the apprenticeship was the best option for me. I'm also very kind of hands-on. I prefer learning through doing, so I thought that was the best way forward for me.
Yeah, that's really good. So how is the course taught exactly? You can, either of you can go first. You can fight over who speaks first.
I'll go first.
Go for it, Siân.
So I'm currently at uni 1 day a week, which is a Tuesday. So I work the 4 other days, and then on a Tuesday I have 2 modules, so 2 lessons, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. And that's kind of, at the moment, I've just gone into my 2nd year, so it's a mix with other degree apprentices. So sometimes I've got chartered managers, degree apprentices on my course. Quite a lot of my courses are shared with software engineers. So it's quite a mix, but it's quite nice because you're kind of bringing in all of that knowledge into one.
Yeah.
My classes are probably shared with about max 15 people.
That's
minimum, there's 4 people in my course. So in some lessons I've had just the 4 of us, which is great because you're so close with your lecturers. So yeah, that's how it works for me at the moment.
That's nice. What about you, Georgia? How is that any different or is it quite similar?
No, it's pretty much exactly the same, actually. However, what I would like just to add is that the delivery style at the University of Chichester is so different to anywhere else I've experienced. I actually went to university the first time around and I went to Westminster and dropped out to become an ice cream lady. And that was partly why I came to the degree apprenticeship, was because I wanted to get that degree and I wanted to have a degree. And that was something that I noticed straight away. The difference is, instead of being sat in a lecture hall with 500-600 people where nobody knows your name, and I was 18, 19, I didn't really know how to navigate around university education. whereas the support that we've been provided from lecturers and from like the business support staff and the admin team, along with the delivery being so much more personal and interactive, I've found has been really, really beneficial for me. And me being in my final year, having gone through, you know, that kind of process, you could definitely see the benefits of it.
That's so cool. So you did another degree before starting the Degree Apprentice?
So I was in my first year, I studied radio production. I was having the best time ever. I was getting like work experience with Radio 1 and Chris Evans, all this really cool stuff.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah, and then I came back for a really chill summer, and my mum had broken her leg at the start of her busiest season ever. And I was like, I'll help you out, mum. And my mum and my dad didn't really trust me not to crash the ice cream van, which at the time I was a terrible driver. I was a really bad driver as well. I'd crashed about 3 cars, so, you know.
That's what it is.
I mean, we've all been there. So, so my dad would actually drive to the job, and I would serve the ice cream, and that's when I really fell in love with it. And it was actually, for me, cool. For me, it was more about serving happiness and the happiness that it brings to people. So, it's really good fun.
Serving happiness, that is ice cream in a nutshell, I think. So, So, both of you, do you find it easy to balance the kind of work career side of things and the uni? Is it relatively easy to do, or do you struggle or not? I can't answer.
Okay, I'll be totally honest. Yes, it is hard. It is a struggle and it is a challenge. And I think if anybody studying any degree apprenticeship was to say, oh no, it's a total breeze because it's only one day a week at uni, they're lying. And I think it's probably worth mentioning that this isn't the easy route. The degree apprenticeship isn't just an easy route because it's seen as sort of like, oh, it's a part-time degree. Although it's great because it's really practical and it's great because you're getting that industry knowledge and experience, it can be really tricky, and you do have to really, really be dedicated and finding that work-life balance and really dedicating time to your education, because otherwise it's just not going to work.
God, yeah, that's good.
100%. I feel like when I first started, it was such a shock because for me, going straight from college to a full-time job was hard enough, but then starting university on top of that with all these new people and new faces, it was completely out of my comfort zone. But it has got a lot easier. But I agree. It is really hard to maintain and balance, because as soon as you drop one thing, the other thing, you know, is also dropped. It is finding that balance, and, you know, finishing work and then getting straight into uni mode can be hard. But you know, if you enjoy what you're doing and you're dedicated to, you know, the degree and your job, I think that definitely helps and makes it easier.
That's good. Do you find that there's like things that you need to do with your uni modules that kind of tie in with what you're doing at work?
Yeah,
everything.
100%.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'd say it's I think bar 2 or 3 modules out of the whole thing, everything's pretty much based on your case study, which is your business or, you know, your employer.
That's cool.
So it's awesome that everything mixes, you know, in, and that's one of the benefits. Although it can be really hard, you know, finding that time, you're not left with loads of student debt, you're getting paid a full-time wage, you know, you're still getting to go into work and do those things. So although it can be really hard, there are so many benefits that also outweigh those challenges.
Yeah. That's good. See, I've got loads of debt and I'm just accepting that I've got loads of debt, but it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. So what is your, both of you, what's your favourite thing about doing an apprenticeship over a traditional degree? Siân, you go first.
For me, I think it's just getting that professionalism in there. I think you can learn so much with a normal degree, but, you know, just simple things like, for me, how you act in an office, how you attend meetings, stuff like that, which I feel like just going to uni as a normal student, you're not going to learn those kind of things. So you're 4 years ahead of everyone else in terms of what you expect in a workplace, how you're expected to act and that sort of thing. I think that's really helpful to me. And obviously not having to pay for anything and being paid is a little bonus, but those are 2 main things for me.
Yeah, that's pretty good. What about you, Georgia? Why do a degree apprenticeship?
I don't know. I'd probably say that actually, for me, it's the people. I love the fact that there's 7 people on our course from all different backgrounds, from all different industries. And I, coming from a smaller business background, have gained so much value just from talking to those people and understanding how different businesses work. And I'm not just saying this because I've got hand in stew. My lecturers, honestly, they're fab. I hear some people at other universities and stuff talk about they've had loads of issues with lecturers and stuff. And any issues that we've ever had with different lecturers were always resolved like sort of pretty much then and there. And there's clear action taken. And it always feels like the students and our outputs and what we're doing is actually put as a priority over sort of the lecturers, which it feels really good, actually. It feels like we're getting loads of value from the course over just getting a degree and the extra bits that come with it.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So why did you choose Chichester?
Mainly because it's behind my house.
Oh,
the campus is 5 minutes from my house, which is great. And also,
amazing.
I know the university. I love what the University of Chichester stands for because we've been working with the University of Chichester for a while on their open days and stuff. Actually, I could, worked with some of the marketing lecturers and business lecturers. I knew how great they were and I knew how knowledgeable they were. So part of me really wanted that, and knew that we could benefit from that.
You knew of us already, that's super handy. What about you, Siân? Because you came straight from college, it must have been really overwhelming.
Yeah,
right?
I think, definitely. For me, coming straight from college, I wanted that extra support. I didn't feel like going to, a massive university where, you're just sitting at the back of a lecture hall. That wasn't what I was looking for. I wanted that continuous support and mentoring and experience and that sort of thing. So I feel like that's why I chose Chichester, because it is a smaller university. It is more, you're more of a community. I've met so many people. You think just by going in one day a week you wouldn't know that many people, but I know so many different apprentices, full-time students from different courses, and I just think that's really helped because
that's really cool.
As Georgia says, it is all about the people and the people you meet and getting that mix of, working, but also being a student and living that kind of student life. That's really important.
Yeah, it's definitely got to have the social side of things because it's not all about work.
Yes, definitely.
Which is really good. So, Georgia, I'm going to ask you a bit about your ice cream parlour and everything. So, did you have much involvement with the expansion of the business? Like, where was it when you first joined, and where is it now?
Okay, so when I first joined the business, I just left university. My mum didn't actually want me to join the business. I had to do a 24-page business plan and a Dragon's Den style pitch to my mum. Partly, she did want me to join the business. That's a bit harsh. It was more that she knew that she didn't want me to kind of stop any potential. I was at University of Central and I was doing really well. Why would I want to come back to Bognor Regis and become an ice cream lady and work for my mum? Like, it was the easy option in a way. So to really prove that I could grow the business and pay my wage and everything else. And I could see real potential in this business. I was like, Mum, this has got legs. Like, let's do it. At that point, she didn't even really have a Facebook page. So, so we grew. Luckily, she took me on. We grew the business, got another ice cream van, got a tricycle, won a few national awards and things, which really helped put us on the map. And
That's
then,
very cool.
Started gaining some really awesome clients and things as well, which kind of got us traction to go from just sort of Sussex, Surrey and Hampshire to Sussex, Surrey, Hampshire, sometimes Oxford, London, Kent, Essex, or anywhere people will pay us to go really now.
That's really
if I'm
cool.
honest. So we really did grow the business. And actually the parlour idea had been floating around for a number of years. We worked really, really hard on it and we'd had quite a lot of challenges and setbacks. And we worked with a lot of the business department on that. We had a lot of support from different lecturers and things like that.
That's so good.
And actually, by me being on the degree apprenticeship, the extra support I got from lecturers when we were setting up the parlour was incredible.
Good.
We were going for a grant to prove productivity, and I was chatting to one of my lecturers, and within 24 hours he put together a little presentation for me, PowerPoint, so I could really understand how we could evidence the productivity that we were kind of demonstrating and stuff. So that extra value that you can't really quantify as a business, being a degree apprenticeship, it's so much more, more than the degree. It's so much more even than the knowledge and the projects that you're doing on the business that we can then implement. There's so much more value that you get from the academic guys and the people who really do have that industry experience.
That's so cool. And I know we briefly spoke about this before we started the podcast, but have you met any celebrities, Georgia?
Yeah. So we've got some really cool clients. So we've done Kate Winslet's party a few times, the Rolling Stones, Johnny Depp, Billy Twelvetrees from the England rugby squad. We did his wedding, Zoella and Alfie Days, Bernie Eccleston, so loads of people. But what I would say is, although that's really, really cool, part of our ethos is it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, your background, you will always be treated with the same level of respect. And we really pride ourselves on the fact that we provide a really high-end service and a really personalised service, regardless of if you're a multi-millionaire, a movie star, Hollywood movie star, or if you're, a 13-year-old kid coming in for a scoop of ice cream after school. It's really important to us.
And everybody loves ice cream.
Totally.
It's a win-win situation, I think.
Exactly. And actually, I would suggest that when we opened the parlour and we worked through that was a really hard time. Obviously, opening a bricks and mortar premises was something so different for us. But the projects that I was doing at the time at uni actually enabled us to sort of do that in a much more consistent way.
That's so good. So, one final question for you, Georgia, before I grill Siân. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love giving free ice creams out on a University of Chichester open day?
I love it. It's like an 11. And do you know why? Because the University of Chichester supports small local businesses. Instead of just going to the shop and buying boxes of chalk ices, they understand the value of supporting a small business to be able to go out there and deliver the messages that they want to be delivered. So big up the University of Chichester. Can't wait for another open day.
Woo! And the free ice cream is great. I always really enjoy it.
And obviously that's because the university have purchased that for you. So obviously that's incredible that the university do that.
Great. It's a nice touch, especially when it's like a nice warm open day. People are like, oh, I could do with an ice cream right now. We're like, oh my God, come here, there's an ice cream. Ah, yes, the only podcast to shamelessly make an advert for themselves. Are you listening to this and thinking of applying to the University of Chichester? What are the chances? See the courses we have on offer at chi.ac.uk/courses and see you in September. So, both of you, what is your just any kind of general advice for anybody who's thinking about doing a degree apprenticeship? Georgia, you go first.
Do it! It's awesome! It's hard work, but honestly, the amount of value, and to be honest, I made some really cool friends from really awesome backgrounds that I would have never met before. There's been so many positive things, and I mean, I've got quite a hard work ethic anyway, I work a lot, but it's definitely helped me to really define the different perspectives of physical work, business work, education, and finding that headspace for all of them. So it's definitely helped me grow so much as a person, and I came to it as technically a mature student. So, any age, any background, just do it. You've got nothing to lose.
That is fantastic advice. What about you, Siân?
Ditto. I think you can't beat the experience you're going to get. You can't compare that to a normal full-time degree. You can do work placements and stuff like that, but from the moment you start to the moment you end, you're growing that whole time. Your knowledge is expanding with your degree, and I just think you literally can't beat that. When you finish university and you graduate, it might be a year longer, but you're so many steps ahead of everyone else because you've got all of that experience under your belt. So I just say, go for it. I think, you don't have to pay tuition fees. You're getting paid. You're getting the experience. I feel like there's no cons about it. So really go for it.
Oh, phew. Thank goodness you both enjoy it. It would have been awful if you were both like, nah, it's rubbish. If you want to join the conversation and chat to us, you can hashtag us at ChiUni, or you can DM us on Instagram at University of Chichester, or Twitter at ChiUni, or if you've got a kind of bigger, more substantial question, you can email us at studyhere@chi.ac.uk. So that's all my grilling questions for both of you today. So thank you so much for coming, and let's say goodbye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
See you
Bye.
later. Bye.